Well, hello and welcome to this edition of the EV Revolution Show. My name is Kenneth Bocoria, host for this episode. Hope everybody's staying safe and following public health guidelines as we get through the pandemic further. I know it doesn't sound that good, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We will get there. Thank you very much for taking the time to join me. I've got a few stories that I've been following for this week's episode, so let me get right into it. Well, it's a happy week here to start the show off as U.S. President Joe Biden announced that the entire federal fleet of vehicles will be replaced with American-made EVs. Now, according to the U.S. General Services Administration, the federal fleet has over 645,000 vehicles. Of those, over 225,000 belong to the U.S. Postal Service and over 173,000 belong to the military. In addition, Biden has also announced a large infrastructure plan to fund about 500,000 public electric vehicle chargers, which will aid with the new surge of EVs. Biden claims that this will also create 1 million new jobs in the clean energy industry. And furthermore, consumer tax credits are planned to be expanded for electric vehicle purchases, allowing EVs to become even more affordable for the general public. Currently, there are no timelines or further details for these plans, but keep watching for more announcements. Now, obviously, this is not going to happen overnight, but it's a great plan to further boost EV adoption in the U.S. and hopefully around the globe. Switching to auto manufacturers, now the merger of Fiat Chrysler Automobiles FCA and PSA Group is complete. Now the two groups will become a huge single automotive group with about 400,000 employees under the name Stellantis. The group will consist of a lot of brands: FCA's Fiat, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Dodge, Maserati, Lancia, Alfa Romeo, Abarth, and Fiat professional brands, and PSA's Peugeot, Citroën, DS, Opel, Vauxhall. It's a lot to say. The one-time cost of the merger is estimated at about €4 billion, or just under 4.9 billion USD. Now, there is a plan to consolidate development of new powertrains, including electrified powertrains, and profit from larger scale. Remember, all these economies of scale come into play. Now, according to the plan, by 2025, there will be at least one electrified version of every newly launched global model, and one of the major points of this consolidation will be global multi-energy and dedicated electrified platforms. Currently, Stellantis offers 29 electrified models, and with 10 more in the pipeline, it should be at about 39 to 40 by the end of 2025. And by 2030, the share of electric models might exceed 35% of the overall volume for these guys. Now, there is definitely opportunity for them to accelerate electrification, and I can only hope that they do so. Lordstown Endurance is one of the several up-and-coming all-electric pickup trucks in the U.S. The company promises that it will start production in September of 2021, targeting company fleets. So recently, some videos have surfaced showing more details of the pickup truck, including the interior. Now, this is an alpha prototype, and the production version is expected to look very similar. The interior may look somewhat average. However, you've got to remember that in this space, Lordstown must focus on costs as well as simple and reliable solutions for a work truck, rather than something more fancy that would require additional time and resources to develop and produce. If you want more premium interior, go look at Rivian. Now, the target range for this all-electric pickup truck is 250 miles, or about 400 kilometers, while the starting price will be about $52,500 USD apparently, and which could net you $45,000 after deducting the federal tax credit. I really hope the Endurance will appeal to fleet customers, as they tend to be more concerned about range, performance, reliability, and total cost of ownership. So let's hope that the Lordstown Endurance delivers on all of this. So I haven't talked about the Jeep brand for a while. They actually have now introduced in Europe, it's their third plug-in hybrid model, the Wrangler 4xe, which recently entered production in the US. Now, sales in the US should start during the first quarter of this year, while in Europe, the first customer deliveries are expected by this summer. The new model will come with new driving modes: hybrid, full electric, e-save, as well as specific functions for electrified driving and charge management. Now, here are some of the specs. The range from AllElectric is expected to be about 25 miles of EPA, 40 kilometers, and 400 miles or about 600 and change kilometers total range. Out of that, it's got a 17 kilowatt hour battery, which is a Samsung SDI lithium ion with NMC cells, about 96 cells in total. 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, and it's all-wheel drive. Has peak system output of 280 kilowatts, about 375 horsepower, and 637 newton meters, or 470 pound-feet of torque. It's also got the electrified system has a 2-liter turbocharged gasoline i4 engine with all kinds of other stuff. Now, in the coming years, Jeep intends to offer at least one electric or electrified version of each of their models. Now, as you folks know, I'm not a big fan of small battery and small range plug-in hybrids, and 25 miles or 40 kilometers is lean in my opinion. However, I do know that it may work for some, but I really hope that Jeep focuses more on all-electric models in the future. Now, my last story today is about a company called Vinfast. Vinfast is a Vietnamese startup company that has been building some ICE vehicles, and they've just now shown their first 3 all-electric models called the VF31, 32, and VF33. These are SUVs, and they're in the C, D, and E segments respectively. Now, the manufacturer also delivered additional technical specifications, and they want to accept orders in Europe this year and make deliveries as well out there. Now, the VF31 is said to have a 42 kilowatt hour battery pack that should allow for a range of up to about 300 kilometers, 186 miles, with either a 85 kilowatt or 150 kilowatt motor for drive power single motor. The VF32 ups the power with either 150 or 300 kilowatt motors, available as all-wheel drive and with a 90 kilowatt hour battery pack. No range is yet specified, but we should guess that the ballpark of about 400 kilometers or 250 miles should be achieved. And the top model, the VF33, is only available with 300 kilowatt dual motor drive. The 106 kilowatt hour battery pack is said to allow for up to 550 kilometers, which is about 341 miles. Now, I gave you some specs, but no other specs or pricing has been announced yet, but I am sure that we're going to see more information come from these guys released throughout the year. Vinfast says that its vision is to become a global smart electric vehicle company and put Vietnam on the world automotive map and up them to a new level. I love it. I'm so happy to hear other countries get into the EV marketplace. As I keep saying, we need every auto manufacturer to step up now in order to make the transition to sustainable transportation quicker and a reality. So please, folks, keep your eyes on the Southeast Asian countries, as a lot of innovation and efforts are coming from these areas like Vietnam, India, and Sri Lanka. Well, and that's it for this edition of the EV Revolution Show. Hope you enjoyed those quick stories that I thought were interesting. Thanks, as always, for watching on YouTube, for responding on your comments, thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. Please do. I always love to read and try to answer every comment that I can. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have, to tell other people about the channel. Would love to get more people to listen to the stories. If you're a Patreon supporter, thank you very much. You know who you are. As always, I'm always humbled by that. I've got a call coming up with you guys this weekend. Hope everybody can make it. Should be fun. If you're not a supporter and you're thinking about it, please check out my Patreon page for more information. As always, my PSA, please, everybody continue to follow public health guidelines. It's going to be still a challenging year, but we will get through it. Just, use your common sense and stay safe, please. And keep your eye on the EV revolution and the marketplace. There's all kinds of stuff happening, lots of news every day. I go through dozens and dozens of articles every day to try to pick out a few that I think are going to be interesting, and I hope you enjoyed that. And until the next show, then, everybody stay safe, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care, and bye-bye.